buy these powerful Yu-Gi-Oh cards before they skyrocket in price.
Wait, no! Something fell off my desk. My phone. Today, big dog, Chat and I will be discussing some cards that you should be looking to buy before they skyrocket in price. Cards from the new set Maze of the Masters that look really interesting. Some cards that you should pick up from Justice Hunters because of the new K9 cards and everything in between. Let's go ahead and jump on in. What's going on with y'all, big dogs? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that's your day. Phenomenal. But if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. Today, big dogs, we're going to be talking about cards that you should buy now, buy for the future, and buy because we're paranoid and sometimes we be speculating. Hear me out, chat. Hear me out. You guys don't know about the frequencies, all right? Things work in 3, 6s, and 9s. That means if you listen to a frequency on the western side of the hemisphere, it's different than the eastern side of the hemisphere. It's really important that we lock in. My phone. If you guys didn't know who I am, hi everybody, I'm your professor, TheCaliEffect, and I have made a fortune on buying and selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards. In fact, buying and selling these Yu-Gi-Oh cards is one of the biggest reasons why I can even record in this house that I bought a couple years ago. I'm not saying that I get everything correct. In fact, we do get some things wrong, but we get way more W's than L's. And if you guys ever catch yourselves on TCG Player, make sure to use my link down below in the comment section. It really does help us. Today, this video was inspired by you guys. We're going to be talking about a myriad of cards here, sometimes ban list influence, sometimes meta influence, and then of course, pack influence. I'll actually let chat start off with which cards we should talk about that we should be investing into and why. Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion Summer. How do you know about the Ghost Bell sauce? Legitimately, dog, it's literally in my list. Summer's actually correct. Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion is a crazy strong Yu-Gi-Oh card. This is a sneaky good hand trap that players are starting to find success with. As you guys should already know, Ghost Bell is really good at stopping your opponent from using monsters that special summon in the graveyard or move cards from the graveyard or activate in the banish zone. This card is starting to become incredibly effective, but the best thing about it is that this particular Yu-Gi-Oh card has already been reprinted. So not really a big chance that it will be reprinted again. If I remember correctly, it was a rarity collection 2 reprint, meaning that you can get your low rarity supers, which if you guys haven't been paying attention, some of the supers are starting to get really expensive, but you can also get your secrets, your ultras, your platinum secret rares, your prismatic secret rares, and more importantly, for the bling people, your collector's rares. I want to talk about the new set, Maze of the Masters. A lot of people aren't really hype on this set, but I think it's some hidden gems from there. Like, for example, I talked about how Verdict of Anubis is crazy strong. For the people that don't know, Verdict of Anubis says when your opponent activates a spell or trap card, while you control 3 or more spell or trap cards, you can negate the activation and destroy it. I don't think it's powerful just for the Apopus cards. Since it's fairly generic, it's powerful for just about everything. And seeing that it only comes in Maze of the Masters as an ultra rare, it's going to be really hard to get once this set does go and pass, especially if people do not buy. Of course, 7th Tachyon is a good card, but that's something that everybody is looking for. But a card that no one's looking for is Swash. What's the card's name, chat? Swarschild Infinity Dragon is a ridiculously dumb card, and players think that it's only a Galaxy Eyes card. They're wrong. While Swarschild does lock you into only being able to summon XE dragons, in return it allows you to be able to special summon itself, then special summon one light or dark dragon from your deck. That, in my opinion, is one of the most busted cards in the entire game. Look, big dogs, we know that dragon support always comes. There will always be some dragon support going on down the line. We also know that dragon is a fairly intricate deck that oftentimes will interlink other particular dragon strategies in cards. It's always played the best of the best. This is a card that allows you to be able to summon another card from your deck, and the only thing that is the drawback is that it locks you in the Xyz. Who's to say that another Xyz dragon deck isn't going to happen and isn't going to be incredibly strong? And by the time that Xyz dragon deck comes out, this card will be banging, because remember, Maze of the Masters is not a set that will often get reprinted. Infinity Dragon locks it the turn you activated, right? You're right, it does lock you the turn you activated, but who cares if you're winning? Buy your set of the Tachyon Counter Trap. I think that one is... Okay, listen. The Tachyon cards have an opportunity to be a really, really good deck. And if they are a really good deck, then not only is Infinity Dragon going to be a card you're going to be looking for, you're also going to be looking for the Dragluxin monster, the rank 8 monster inside of the set. You are going to have more problems than just Infinity Dragon. But I think just as equally, there is an opportunity that the deck does not do well. Regardless though, having the secret rare copies of the Tachyon Trap, I would probably lean towards selling because there's other prints of the card, just in case. It would be safer, right? At least in my head, big dogs. I'm 50-50. I've always been a guy that would like to risk it for the biscuit, but this doesn't seem like a good risk, right? But I know something else from this set that I would consider a pretty decent risk. We already know that ABCs they're pretty strong, right? I think that players should be looking at Therion King Regulus right now. Therion King Regulus only has 2 printings. Its original print and that, what was that set? It was Dimension Force. There you go. That set wasn't really good price-wise. And then it got a reprint inside of the Megatens, only to pretty much never be reprinted again. I love this card's price point because if it does get a reprint in the near future, you really don't lose much by getting Therion King Reguluses. I like Therion King Regulus strictly because of its price point. It's a card that is really, really cheap and something that you can invest into and only has 2 printings. So if it does get reprinted, you don't lose out on much. But if it doesn't, then Therion King Regulus can be a really powerful card. It's also to note that Therion King Regulus works really well with ABC monsters or Union monsters in general because it can always equip the Union monster and the Union monster can always unequip itself, giving ABC decks a negation monster and also technically an extender depending on how they play it. With that being said, I also think that you should pick up Light and Darkness Dragon Lord. This card's starting to go up in price, and this is my second time telling you guys to pick it up. This card just, I don't know, guys. This card just looks good. I think that Galaxy players are going to start experimenting with this card, and the best thing about Light and Darkness Dragon Lord is that cards like Forbidden Chalice are actually decent in this meta. I'm going to put you guys on some game. If a card effect is activated and your Light and Darkness Dragon Lord attempts to negate it, you can chain Forbidden Chalice to negate your Light and Darkness Dragon Lord and change its attack. I think it'll become 3,800 or something. But here's the crazy thing. On the end of the turn, Forbidden Chalice will finish negating the Light and Darkness Dragon Lord and it'll return back to its original attack, giving you more negates, but also allowing you to be able to play during your turn and turn off for your opponents, or turn on for your opponents. I don't know, guys. I just think you could benefit from that. But now that we are done talking about the cards that you should buy from this set and adjacent, we just got an announcement of the K9 archetype. And boy, the gooners are gonna goon. Seriously, I want to reiterate it again. I hate how Konami has turned some of the best artwork of all time to what we have in Yu-Gi-Oh artwork now. A video is going to be coming out very soon about the depreciation of artwork. But for right now, the K9 archetype is a level 5 deck that can make rank 5s and can exceed summon into some pretty powerful monsters. Some players are using, I forgot this card's name. They're buying out the dice monster, the rank 5 dice monster. What's his name, chat? Dice Smasher. Oh my God. Don't do it, guys. This card's trash. Instead, there are some other rank 5 monsters and other cards that you should be buying. Some of the cards that I think you guys should be investing in is the numbers 103 through 107 cards. All of them. These cards make so many decks searchable, and it's not just using Masquerade to be able to search the Yugioh cards or using Ragna Zero to be able to search the trap cards. You guys should be picking up every single one of them. That means Silent Honor Arc, the Ghost Rares, the Ultimate Rares. That means the Masquerade card that was just mentioned, every single one of them, because not only do they search strategies now, they also search K9. What are some other cards, big dogs, that we should be looking at because of K9? Show them the real way. I think you should be looking at rank 5 monsters. Dice Smasher isn't one of them, but Artifact Durandal is one. The reason why I personally think that Dice Smashers is trash is because when your opponent uses, like, I don't know, Effect Veiler on Durandal, it feels like you lost 2 good monsters. But Durandal's a little bit different. It has sneakier effects. It's a little easier to manipulate. I think that card is 100% a card you should be looking at. Would Super Quantum Red Layer be recommended for a level 5 special summon, or are there better cards? Excellent question, Fruity Groovy. I think that there's a host of level 5 monsters that we could be looking for K9. Red Layer is a pretty good card. I mean, it's pretty awesome stats, has been a competitive card time after time again. It's also searchable through Super Quant Blue Layer, which is searchable through Emergency Teleport. So maybe if you have a sub-engine, it might be good. Ironically, Shield of the Millennium Dynasty is really good. It just so happens to be an Earth level 5 warrior monster that can summon itself to the side of the field. I'm not talking about any other cards that require Earth level 5 other than Tenma the Sky Star. But I don't know, chat. These may be kind of good. There's also the Trickstar package. Isn't bad. You're right. Trickstar Light Gauge could search Trickstar Coral Bane. That's the right one, right? And Coral Bane summons itself. But the reason why I picked these monsters is because they're all warriors. Meaning that, Feast of the Wild, one of my favorite cards that I actually made a video on way back in the day, can summon a 5 warrior monster from the graveyard and I believe the hand. And that's all for the cards that we think you should buy before they skyrocket in price. Again, guys, I really hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. But if you aren't, well, there's always next class. Go ahead and check out these other videos so I can catch you on the next one.